What's up, guys? Chase 3C Miniworks here again, and today we're going to do a review from somebody who otherwise has never really worn any sort of motorcycle protective gear whatsoever aside from gloves. We're reviewing the Dainese Airflight D1 jacket that I have on currently. It is a summer jacket, and this is our first ride out on it. It's about 72 degrees here in Ohio. Warming up as the day goes on, but otherwise just a normal spring to summer day. Not too hot, not too cold. So the first thing I noticed about this jacket right away is with having all the exterior mesh, it is extremely comfortable. I know they label this as a summer jacket, but oh my goodness, it's like having air conditioning. I'm not even kidding. It is so comfortable. Sometimes, even at 70 degrees, I tend to sweat. I don't know. I just like colder weather. And so I'm excited to try this out once it gets a little warmer, but as far as right now, it's 70 degrees. It has an inner layer on the inside, so it's a thin mesh, or a thin like inner lining that goes underneath the mesh, I should say. And when you have that in, it breaks all of the wind, but it holds that chill almost. So it could be, I'm assuming, very, very warm, and you're still extremely comfortable, which is great. I think that this is going to be awesome once it actually warms up. Another thing that's really cool about this jacket, no pun aside, no pun intended, is the armor in it. So it's got shoulder pads, it's also got elbow pads, and like forearm guards. They're all level 1 armor. I've never personally had any armored layering before, and I find it to be very, very comfortable. I will admit, upon putting it first on, it definitely was a lot heavier than I thought. But the way the armor sits within the jacket, as long as you get the proper size, it all fits very comfortably. It doesn't feel out of place at all. And I really enjoy it. Honestly, it feels like no different than if I just have a standard windbreaker or a hoodie or, you know, whatever jacket on. It doesn't feel like I'm weighed down at all, which is a huge plus. Another thing worth noting, it is in European sizes, so with us being in the US, I actually ordered 2 different jackets. I ordered a size 58 and a size 60. They're very, very similar in size, but it allowed me to kind of see, do I want it to fit looser in some areas, or do I want it to be more tight? And I definitely opted to be a little bit more tighter, because I don't want my material flowing around or kind of whipping in different directions, especially if I actually end up needing it. Heaven forbid if I do get into a crash or fall off the bike in any way. I want that armor to sit in place. I want it to be where I need it to be. And by going a little bit tighter on it, I definitely think that it's going to do that rather than move around if I were to need it. It does have a lot of adjustability within it, which is nice. On the forearms, you do have a zipper that allows you to get your hands in and out a little bit easier. You do have some Velcro strapping around the waistline that you can cinch it a little bit tighter, say if you do want it to be a little bit warmer or fit tighter or looser, that in general. Overall, I would definitely give the fit probably a 9 out of 10, not knowing how other jackets fit. I really enjoy it. The price tag, I will admit, initially $300 sounds like a lot for a jacket. Personally, I'm like, I don't know that I want to spend that much. But, you know, your safety, you have to realize that at some point you have to spend money on safety products. Or you don't. I mean, that's your prerogative, but personally, I would recommend it. And talking about the price, there's also a sale on Revzilla right now. They're doing a closeout on all of the Dainese, however you say it, I'm probably butchering that, D1 air flights. So they're all half off. So this jacket right now, as it sits, was only $150. I think that's a great deal given that it's normally a $300 jacket. So I'm very happy with it. It's a great purchase. If we want to talk about the cons on it, the one con I think specifically is when I watched all the reviews from Revzilla or other people that were making reviews, they often mentioned about there being reflective material on the back. It's minimal at best. I've not used it at nighttime yet, but when I were to shine a light or a headlight on the back of this jacket, there's 4 corners that very, very minimally have reflection on it. So yes, it is more street styled, but when we're talking about safety and night riding, it is kind of a turnoff a little bit to think that they're trying to sell a jacket that you can be very visible in the night, but it doesn't necessarily fit that bill, in my opinion. So does it affect the quality? No, not at all. This jacket is definitely very nice from what I feel of it. It's very sturdy, it's tight fitting how I want it. There weren't any like snags in the material as far as the stitching or overlapping pieces of fabric that you wouldn't want sitting out. I just think it's a really, really well put together jacket. And if we're talking about the cons on the jacket, for me, it really just comes down to the reflection bits. Another thing worth noting if we're talking about the negatives of this jacket is because it fits tighter and specifically around the waistline, it kind of rides up a bit when you're riding. So I'll generally pull it down. It's about at my belt line. And right now, if I reach back after about 20 minutes of riding, it sits probably 3 inches up my back. So there's a little bit of exposure there. I'll be honest, I don't know if that's normal. Like I said, this is my first jacket that I've owned, but could be slightly annoying to somebody, I would imagine. Personally, it doesn't bother me, but it's worth noting that it could potentially be a problem for somebody that's looking into a jacket that doesn't want that to happen. I'm sure they make some longer ones where you wouldn't necessarily run into that issue. Otherwise, it's a fantastic piece. Definitely recommend. This has been an honest review by me. Have a great day, guys. Peace. and then
Hi, babe.